Hello, and welcome to the Sunset Records channel. Today we are going to be looking at an infamous company who went bankrupt in 1990 and later was formed and merged into a company who also went out of business, and that was Ames. But Ames is not who we'll be looking at today. The store we will be looking at today is Zaire, or as I like to put, Zayers. Now, let's get on, shall we? Zayres was a department store that opened, actually, not as Zayres, but in 1919, when brothers Max and Morris Feldberg founded the New England Trading Company, which was the original name for Zayres, in Boston, Massachusetts. It was a underwear and hosiery wholesaler. The company began as a supplier to full-line department stores and specialty shops. 10 years later, the brothers launched their first retail operation, Bell's Hosiery Shop, later shortened to Bell Shops. Within a few years, the Bell Shops expanded beyond underwear and hosieries into the women's specialty stores, expanded beyond underwear and linear shops, and the Three Sisters. By the end of World War II, there were nearly 30 Bell Shops in the New England area in 1946. The company doubled its numbers of stores with its buyout in New York City-based Nugent's, another women's specialty store chain, similar in approach to that at the Bell Shops, with its stores based in New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, etc., etc. So, the first Zayres store never came to be until the initial thing happened in the early 1950s, when the Bell Shops / Nugent stores were suffering due to the decline of downtown business districts. So the Federal or Fieldbergs brothers thought to themselves, well, since the downtown district was hurting, we should go to something that is not hurting and actually gaining steam, and that is the discount stores at the time. So, with that being said, the first store was then thought of after that initial thought in 1955, when they joined with Stop and Shop and formed an offer with them to build a store alongside a new Stop and Shop supermarket to be constructed in Haynes, Massachusetts. Okay. In June 1956 is when the first official Zayres store opened. The actual name of this first store was called Haynes Zayres, which opened with an initial 5,000 square feet of retail. Okay, and then quickly constructed to a total of 45,000 square feet in 1962. Now, their second location will be built in the same year, but in September, in Roslindale section of Boston. a much larger of the initial original store without any expansions of 39,000 square feet. Within a few years, Zayers stores would average a 70,000 to 90,000 square feet. Now, through the 60s and 70s, Zayers was doing pretty okay. But in the 80s, Zayers' parent company, Zayers Corporation, sold the stores to a competing Ames department store, which was later defunct. The chain then, and in 1989, Zayers Corp merged with one of its subsidiaries, which they have created, which was the TJ Maxx store, or the TJ Maxx company. And then a number of stores after that merger retained the Zaire name until 1990, by which all stores were either closed or converted to Ames stores. So, to go in some more about this. Okay. Another reason why Ames didn't really like this was because, well, I got it here. The company transition into off-price fashion business was relatively smooth. But sadly, Ames' preferred stock it received in the Zaire transaction was a problem. While the stock was entitled to annual dividends, the Ames decided the option of paying the first 4 seminal divisions with more Ames preferred stock rather than cash, and an option to exercise Ames stores for each of the payments it had met. The value of Ames preferred stock was dubious, however, as Ames was closing stores and experienced their own losses. So with that, in April of 1990, TJ Maxx established a $185 million reserve against its Ames preferred stock and conjacent lease liabilities on former Zayre stores. As a result, Ames announced the continued poor performance. That the month, Ames filed for protection creditors union under Chapter 11 U.S. Bankruptcy Code, and by 1990, all Zayre stores had been closed or converted into Ames stores, and what had once been America's 5th largest discount retailer was no more. And that is when we get to this.
Now, even deeper discounts. 73 stores of Zayers are going out of business and must liquidate millions of dollars of inventory. Save 25 to 50% and more on everything in every department. Not a clearance or odds and ends, not selected markdowns. Everything has original price tags. Cashiers deduct an additional 25% even on items already reduced 1/4, 1/3, and 1/2. It's the Zayers sale you'll never forget. Nothing held back. Everything. Come in now. 73 stores of Zayers are going out of business.
Okay, I hope you liked this video. It was my first video like this. I've never really tried anything like this. It was kind of a lot of research. And just something I thought in mind. So, with further ado, I will be signing off. Okay, here.